Alex Jones cries on Russian TV. Mūsų NFKRZ vietinis Rusijos duchintojas rusas, tai aš žinau, kad Alex Jones buvo rusų televizijoje, tai davai, let's go.
Trump is a very transactional person. So he looks at Russia, it's like Melania. He sees it as a woman. I mean, I know how Trump operates. He sees Russia as a gorgeous, beautiful woman he wants to be with.
Let him cook, I guess. I don't know.
And the CIA goes, no. You're not getting in business with her. We're going to kill her and eat her. And so they're cannibals. Trump wants to have children with Russia. The globalists want to eat Russia, and they want to eat me. So that's really to understand their mindset. They're cannibals.
What the f? Yes, guys, this is not
Alex Jones, let's go.
The infamous Russian propaganda pundit has just collabed with Alex Jones. I know, guys, I'm also pinching myself right now, but this is not a dream, this is real life. And to be honest, guys, this is just a legendary event, because the two great grifters and conspiracy theorists have finally met up, and they're about to bring us the most Z piece of content you've ever seen.
Beje, ar galit patikėti, Alex Jones prarado beveik milijardą, ar daugiau net, milijardą dolerių dėl savo melų. Milijardą!
In which actually Alex Jones broke out into real tears, so it must be pretty good. Hello Blazers, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. How you guys doing today? Welcome to a brand new video, and in today's video, guys...
Jo, aš sakau, taip, Ieva, taip, jis labai panašus.
First episode of the show Solovyov'ą Live, which is the interview with Alex Jones. Now this interview is actually about 45 minutes long, and I've actually watched it fully before filming this video. Yes guys, it was a tough watch. And I wrote down some of the more memorable and interesting moments that we could react to. But anyway guys, I'm pretty sure that if you watch my channel, you must be aware of who both Vladimir Solovyov and Alex Jones is. Vladimir Solovyov is the Russian journalist that's basically become the main spokesperson of Russian propaganda throughout the last decades, and essentially he runs multiple TV shows on Russian TV in prime time, essentially just spreading propaganda about, Nazis in Ukraine and, how the special military operation is important and everything. He's obviously very Z and everything, and also he's known for his very emotional behavior when sometimes in his live streams he would basically lash out at people and start screaming. What's funny is that I actually personally made a video about Solovyov already a few years ago, and I actually called that video The Russian Alex Jones. And now many years later I'm watching them collab with Alex Jones, guys. Yes, we live in the Matrix. And yes, Alex Jones, I'm pretty sure, needs no introduction as well. Media mogul, creator of Infowars.com, an insane far-right conspiracy theory lunatic, who also was ordered to pay almost $1 billion in damages because he claimed that Sandy Hook was actually a hoax in order to remove people's gun rights. So yeah, Alex Jones is a pretty terrible person as well, but he is a very entertaining character, much like Solovyov himself as well. They're not great people, however, they are able to provide us with entertaining clips here and there, But anyways, guys, if you do appreciate how much pain I have to go through in order to film this video, and by pain, of course, I mean watching 45 minutes of Solovyov speaking. And if you guys appreciate what I do on this channel, then you can support me additionally by going to the link down in the description and becoming a YouTube member, or doing a super thanks underneath this video. And now guys, the begging is over, let's get right into it.
Very good morning to you. It's definitely a pleasure.
Good to be here while we're still... It's good to be here while we're still alive and not dying in nuclear war.
Look, both of you guys have way worse things to worry about than the nuclear war. And I mean like personal consequences, not just some big world extinction event, okay?
Basically, we live in hell. So finally, our job is try to stop it coming on Earth for everyone. But you're doing it from your side. You're telling people what you believe in. And you are blamed for that. You've been cancelled from whatever platform there is in the United States, and they still cannot close you.
Yes, guys, so these two are going to be the major themes they're going to be discussing in this entire podcast.
God.
Essentially, Alex Jones and Solovyov in this video are going to be claiming that their goal is to stop World War III from happening and to stop a war between Russia and America happening, and essentially that they're both actually working for peace. Alex Jones doesn't want America to fund Ukraine. Solovyov wants Russia to take over the entirety of Ukraine.
It's a real meeting of the mind.
I don't exactly see how being Z is like taking steps towards world peace or whatever, but you do you. And another major point that of course they're going to be talking about in this video is cancel culture and how Alex Jones got banned just for telling the truth. When of course we all know that Alex Jones got in trouble for not telling the truth but actually lying about a terrible tragic event. There's a lot of them just saying redundant stuff about cancel culture over and over again in here, so...
Well, I love our republic and I'm proud to be an American, but I have to be honest, I live in an occupied globalist country with corporate oligarchs like Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates in control, and they are arresting everybody. They have dissolved our borders. They are annihilating us. And so America, major polls show 80+% are against war with Russia. We know that George Soros and others started the war 9 years ago.
Do we know that? Do we know that the reason why the war started in 2014 was George Soros? It wasn't Igor Girkin. No, it was George Soros. He was in there, taking over police stations and army bases in eastern Ukraine. George Soros, you проказник такой, проказник.
And the average American understands this is your back door, this is your homeland, this is where Russia started, was in Ukraine. And the average American is not with NATO, we are not with the globalist.
Okay. So Ukraine is the back door and the homeland of Russia because Russia started with Ukraine. Or from Ukraine, right? He was obviously talking about the Kiev and Rus and everything. First of all, right, even if we assume that countries, you know, should own territories on the basis of, like, historical rights to them or whatever, the Kiev and Rus started from Ukraine, so technically Ukraine is sort of the precursor to Russia. So then by your logic, which is flawed in the first place, Russia should be part of Ukraine then, right? I mean, what is this? And obviously, of course, even though Ukraine and Russia have common roots, these are countries that have, you know, grown apart through centuries and centuries. They had their own history, their own traditions, their own languages. It's not the year 900 anymore, you know?
And I'm not saying the Russians are perfect, nobody's perfect, but we stand against nuclear war, and we stand against the Nazis that have launched the attacks in Ukraine. And so we have to tell the truth about what's happening, even if it gets us killed, because the globalists are insane, mentally degenerates.
Oh man, he could just go on for hours and hours, Candy, and he will. This entire 40 minutes is basically going to be him repeating the same thing, that America is stolen by the globalists, and that the people in charge don't represent, like, real truth and freedom in America, and that they're trying to lock Trump away to stop America from being free. And he's also spreading Z talking points at the same time. Great job, great job.
And they are so used to wielding American power of the country they've hijacked, like hijackers to take over an airplane, that they're flying the American airplane into the building like 9/11 that is Russia.
What does that mean? What kind of parallel is this? What does that mean, Alex? Okay, next point, let's move on.
I just want the Russian people to know that just like you had oligarchs and you were occupied for a few years after the fall of the Soviet Union, but you kicked them out, we are struggling in a death battle to remove the controllers of our country, and we just hope in that process that we don't all kill each other.
Alex is showing great knowledge and awareness of Russian modern history right here, surely. I'm sorry, I was just under the impression that after the fall of the Soviet Union in Russia, this sort of oligarchical state has been established, and most of oligarchs essentially were friends with the Russian president Yeltsin, and then what happened is when Putin came into power, he essentially either jailed or, you know, kicked out of the country most of these oligarchs from Yeltsin's era, and just replaced them with, like, his little childhood friends. And those people are literally now the people who own everything in Russia and have all the money in Russia. So he just replaced Yeltsin's oligarchs with his own. I don't exactly see that as kicking out the oligarchs and getting rid of the deep state. This is just complete fucking nonsense.
So if there is nuclear war, at least it'll kill the globalist so we can all die together. I hope we can stop that, but I have a little solace that maybe God's going to work through us all. We all just kill each other, but we're so close to it. I have to be very honest with you.
This entire speech and this entire 45-minute conversation, right? He's just so unhinged. There isn't even much to criticize here or, like, discuss in good faith. Because these two have, like, a very low grasp of reality, right? Most of this is just insane speeches about God and whatnot. It's gonna get into that a little bit later. It's gonna get even worse. I don't even know how to comment on this, honestly, because it's just very hard to comment when you have two grifters who just spread hateful messaging and propaganda through fear-mongering and conspiracy nonsense.
But how come that with great people of the United States, you allowed your country to be hijacked? How come that people that are good Christians, that are hard-working people, great nation, how come that people like Blinken, Joe Biden, it looks like they're much more interested in putting whatever taxpayer dollars they can for the benefit of the Ukraine to launder money through the Ukraine back to the families.
A little bit of a pot calling the kettle black here, but one thing I do want to point out is that Solovyov's English is actually pretty good. And actually what I find funny is that he's consistently Z in both Russian and English. You know how in Russian, essentially there's two ways to say in Ukraine. You can either say v Ukraiне or na Ukraiне. And the form na Ukraiне is essentially considered to be sort of offensive for Ukrainian people because it basically kind of implies that Ukraine is not a separate country and it's kind of like a region. I personally choose to say v Ukrainie, for example, but in Russian propaganda you will always see na Ukrainie. And in English you have that as well, because it used to be that you had to say the Ukraine in order to be grammatically correct, essentially, and now you don't really have to anymore, and it's actually kind of considered offensive as well. And Solovyov says the Ukraine, so yes, even in English he's just as Z as he is in Russian, so consistency, I guess, you know, that's pretty good.
We were taught we were bad, and then we were taken over by globalist, woke, leftist,
Man visą laiką kils klausimas, kiek jie iš tikro tiki, ką sako. Nu, visą laiką toks kilo klausimas, kiek Lėkštutis tiki, ką sako, kiek ten Celofanas tiki, ką sako, kiek yra tiesiog personažas. Ir dažniausiu atveju tie žmonės, kur, nu, karjeras iš to pasidarė, jau bus įtikėję, ką jie sako, gan didelių procentų, kaip be būtų. Kai kurie, nu, jau taip giliai, kad jie net jeigu netikėtų, negalėtų pakeisti savo nuomonės, nes, tipo, viskas nuo to priklauso, nuo tavo tikėjimo. Bet iš tikrųjų, vat, įdomu, kiek, vat, procentų, nu, kažkurie dalykai, nu, kur visiškai wild dalykai, nu, jie turi žinot, kad čia gerai, čia greičiausiai nesąmonė. Arba kad čia nesvariausias argumentas. O gal ne? O gal legit, tai yra tiesiog antiek, va, tas kitoks mąstymas, kad tu net neturi gebėjimo kritiškai vertinti, ką sakai, kažkokiu kitokiu būdu. Ir tu 100% tikisi tik nes visiškai, ką sakai. Va čia nežinau. Va čia tiesiog nežinau. Kuris variantas?
transgenderism, LGBTQP, Satan brainwashing.
Boy, so, once again, like I said for many years at this point, the American far-right, American conspiracy theorists, QAnon, etc., a lot of their rhetoric actually closely coincides with the rhetoric of Russian propaganda. This is precisely why we see these two together, because their agendas match up right now. And this is the precise reason why a lot of the extreme conservatives in the West like to support Putin and, you know, essentially be Z, because in their eyes, Russia is this awesome conservative country and Putin is this sort of like defender of freedom and conservative values. I've talked about those kinds of people in my video called Stop Idolizing Russia many years ago. A classic at this point, right? So yeah, and that was essentially Alex's response to Solovyov's question asking, what happened to America? And shortly before this, they were actually talking about Trump being arrested, being the sort of, you know, part of this entire huge plan. And I just want to say, you know, what really happened, Alex, is that in America, the courts actually work and the people in power can be held accountable for their actions. In Russia, for example, the leader cannot be charged for anything in any way, and essentially enjoys being above the law. So no, Trump being charged is not a sign of censorship, but it's a sign of a working democracy, stopping the attempts to subvert that exact democracy.
We have disconnected megalomaniacs that make Caligula or Nero or Hitler look sane.
This just in, guys, Alex Jones claims that Joe Biden is on the same level as Hitler.
Worse.
Quite interesting.
Not on the same level, worse, way worse.
The real American. You know, you talk about how have I survived?
Probably by selling brain pills containing soy. I think that's how you've been surviving for the last few years.
Well, Alex, it's, you know, basically it's amazing. I used to live in the United States of America, and at that time that was the most free country in the world, where people respected freedom of speech. And this time there were a whole bunch of good families, good Christians. Every Sunday they were going to church, and they believed that God loves America, and they believed that their job is to bring good to the world and freedom to people. 30 years later, in the United States of America, you cannot say shit. If you say something that you believe in, you have a problem with it.
Some weird sound design going on over at the Solovyov studio. So yeah, here they essentially start bitching about cancel culture some more, and you know, it's pretty redundant. They say the same thing over and over again, essentially. And of course, Alex Jones says that he's been destroyed for telling the truth. So we're not gonna look at this too much.
That's why I'm here telling the Russian people, we know you're not expansionist. We know you're not attacking us. The average American polls show 80% don't want war with you. And we are sorry our country's been hijacked and is being used as a battering ram.
All the Americans in the comments, let me know if you agree with Alex Jones. And I'm expecting your apologies. Alex Jones just apologized on the behalf of the American people for mistreating Russian people. I've been mistreated here and there, you know, for the past 1.5 years. So your apologies, please, in the comments right now. Thank you. Because he does represent regular American people after all, right? So...
Alex Jones iš kažkur ištraukė tą ir 8%. Jis iš kažkur ištraukė kažkokį, turi tyrimo, tipo... Čia, kaip vakar minėjau, kai skaičiau to apie Tutkų Karalių Reaguoja, kur, tipo, jeigu sustatai savo tikėjimą, nu, gal ne visai labai objektyviais, ar šaltiniais, ar prielaidom kažkokiam, čia jisai kažkur dabar iš kažkur kažkokį tyrimą, tas tyrimas greičiausiai bus tragiškas, tas polas, ta apklausa, nes 8% tikrai nepalaiko Alex Jones pozicijos.
We're not pro-Russia, we're not pro-America, we're pro-God. And we're pro-anti-nuclear.
I love that.
War.
I love that.
We're not pro-Russia, we're not pro-America, we're pro-God.
Čia Lekstutis beveik tą sakydavo, beveik tą. Aš ne už Ukrainą ir ne už Rusiją, aš už taiką. Okay, seni.
What a dumb fucking statement. What does that even
Kur aš jau užpauzinau?
What does that even mean? It's not believable and it doesn't make any sense because we all know that the only thing Solovyov'ą and Alex Jones are pro is money.
But for that, they have to believe in God. They don't believe in God. How can you believe in God and be for LGBTQ plus minus divide on something? LGBT is shit. It has nothing to do with God.
What is this? Like, honestly, what is this? Incredible. Just incredible level
Kai to vertybės ateina iš religijos, tada prasideda problemos. LGBT problemų,
People on the
viskas
right, they do
problemų.
love facts and logic, and that's exactly what Solovyov is bringing to us. Just facts and logic.
Who can we talk to? There is no one in the American political circles whom we can trust. Look at those old guys that are in Senate. They're insane. Mitch, that doesn't know where he is right now, what age it is, what century it is.
I mean, another one that's kind of ironic, I think. Russia, of course, is a country that is very famous for having, very young, capable leaders. The Russian president is very young, some fresh bloods. The State Duma and everything, the leaders of all the parties, all very young people that definitely know what's going on in the world, guys. How is he saying this without seeing the irony? I mean, this is absolutely unbelievable.
But the other second, it's like, oh, no, we cannot do that. No, we have to be politically correct. No. Yes, we hate Russia. Of course, we'll support Ukraine. Yeah. Well, yeah.
What is this? The level of commentary. I mean, I'm watching this and I literally feel like I'm sitting in the kitchen in the commie blog arguing with my drunk Z uncle about politics and whatnot. It's just, what is this? Who is watching this? Honestly.
How is it possible in the country that said freedom of speech is our main and the most important characteristic feature? What kind of power they have? What kind of money they have to buy everyone?
I know, right? What's crazy is that Russia also has freedom of speech as one of its main characteristics and traits in the Russian constitution, but at the same time, Russian people are getting jailed for saying an opinion that does not coincide with the Russian government's. I know, Vladimir, this is insane. Now, after this, essentially what they turn to is that they start discussing the January 6th Capitol riots, the insurrection, right? And Solovyov actually defends it.
We saw a crowd that was not armed. How can it be called a riot? The same guys that were saying that there's nothing happening on the streets of Kyiv.
I do find it ironic that Solovyov is defending, January 6th participants and the event as a whole. However, you just know that if something like this would happen in Russia, where some group of people would try to, break into one of the governmental buildings or whatever and to do something against the government, against the ruling class, you just know that Solovyov would be on this exact show calling them traitors and terrorists, right? So, just the irony, the hypocrisy, the grifts. Oh my god, the grifts. It's incredible.
Yeah, but that's Orwell comes true. That is not basically possible. They are trying to put the gentleman in prison, not for the deed. He hasn't done anything. There is nothing that has been done by him, but for his thoughts. That's incredible. That's the new level of totalitarianism. That is no longer freedom. That is no democracy.
My goodness.
Look who's talking. Look who's talking. Oh my god. And you just know there's gonna be a bunch of red-pilled people that are gonna watch this who are completely unaware of what's going on in Russia, right? And they're gonna be like, holy shit, this Russian guy is speaking truth. Russia is probably a country with more free speech than America is at this point, guys. Crazy.
You don't know why they hate us? Because we love God. They hate us because we're Christians, Muslims, Jews, because we believe that there is God. What they're trying to say is, no, there is no God.
A bit of an interesting mix of, super conservative evangelist rhetoric.
Žmonėje buvo klaida, blėt. Paklausai šitų, ta prasme, Jesus. Oh my god. Šito interviu aš neištverčiau, žinokit, Alex Jones, aš ieškojau, neradau pilno, ten jis, man atrodo, parsisiuntęs kažkur įrašą turi, YouTube ten kažkur, kažkur gal ir raščiau, bet jau aš neištverčiau, aš actually neištverčiau. There's no shot.
Mixed in with a bit of the multiculturalism rhetoric of Russia that evokes a lot of the time. Very interesting. I love seeing this, blend of shit.
The control is is what I read about supposedly happened in the Soviet Union. I don't know that actually happened. I just know we're living under what I read about. What I read about over there is happening here.
But yes, guys, America is definitely on the level of the Soviet Union right now with all the repressions going on. Who the fuck is Stalin anyway? Biden. Now that's the biggest tyrant the world has ever seen.
This isn't a game. And that's why our president is saying, sorry guys, but there won't be gay marriages in Russia. We don't care what you do in your bedroom, but we know what family is. There should be father and mother, not parent number 1 and parent number 2.
Why?
There should be one parent because the other parent died.
Matai, jo, čia tas klausimas. Gerai, mano klausimas būtų, kodėl? Gerai, kodėl? Ai, nes Biblijoje tai parašyta? Okay. Nu, man ne autoritetas Biblijoje. Gerai, kodėl? Kodėl? Nu, ir jie nėra gerų argumentų realiai. Nes konstitucija parašyta. Gerai, konstitucijos yra keičiamos, papildomas, bet aš klausiu iš filosofinės pusės, kodėl? Nes natūralu, gerai, tas šeimos argumentas, žinai. Kai kurios moteris negali vaikų susilaukti, tai ar jie mažesnė šeima, jeigu įsivaikina, kuom skiriasi? Okay. Ten gali iš tos natūralumo pažiūrėti, būdavo socialiniai tėvai, kur ten vieni kitų prižiūrėdavo vaikus ir ten jeigu motina užmuša ką tą vaiką irgi užmuša paskui, tipo yra niuansų šitoj temai. Ir nu, esmė, kad nėra gero argumento. Tai yra tiesiog jų tikėjimas. Jų įsišaknyjas tikėjimas, kuris atėjęs iš religinės pusės ir visiškai nelankstus, kur racionaliai ne vieta, nes tai tikėjimas yra. Ir viskas. Ir todėl yra religija, sakau, yra stabdys visuomenės progresų ir tiesiog pūdo žmonių protus ir viskas. Tiesiog paklausė tokią va dogmą, kur religija taip pasakė ir viskas. Gerai, o kodėl? Pakalbam, pamėginam išanalizuoti, kodėl. Gal verta pakeisti kažką, kad didesniam kiekiu žmonių būtų tiesiog geriau? Ar tu šis paaukoji kažką dėl to? Ne. Tau visiškai nieko nekainuoja. Tau tiesiog nepatinka, nes prieštrauja tavo religijai ir tavo tikėjimui ir viskas. O tavo religija ir tavo tikėjimas yra virš visko. Virš kitų žmonių laimės, virš kitų žmonių gerovės. Tu esi tas, kuris nelankstus savo mąstyme, tu esi tas, kuris stabdai visą visuomenę, tu esi tas, kuris būtent nenori, kad žmonėms būtų gerai, tu nori, kad tavo religija ir tavo tikėjimas būtų visiškai visiems paklustų, kad visi paklustų tam ir viskas. Bet jo, man patinka taip pat gerai, pasakė kažkas tokį kaip dogminį statement ant tą teiginį. Gerai, ar tikrai? Kodėl? Ir jeigu mes neturim gero pagrindimo ir mūsų pagrindimas, nes religija, okei, laisvas, tiesiog laisvas. Tu diskvalifikuotas iš karto. Ir čia jie kartoja tą over and over, aš sakau, religija yra fucking mėšlas visiškas. Ištirpdo žmonių smegenis ir padaro juos su tokiais zombiais.
Right on the front line. That's what's happening, I think.
At least the Russians aren't rolling over to this. And I admire that. And that's why I'm here. I'll be attacked 10 times worse for this. I don't care. I'm telling the truth. I'm going down with the ship. So I'm telling you folks, they're coming for your children. They're coming for your life. They're coming for
making the frogs gay.
This is fucking unhinged. This is just absolutely insane. Just again, what is that to comment on?
That's not, you're absolutely right. That's not about politics. That's about existence of humanity as such. That's not the war between Russia and America. It's the war between God and Satanists.
I want to say this.
So yeah, they essentially just start bitching about the LGBT and transgenders for a while after this as well. And essentially, yes, they say that the modern American leadership, you know, the deep state, etc., they're all basically just Satanists that want to destroy the world, destroy the entire human race, you know. And the truth is, of course, that these Satanists don't exist. And in reality, the people like Vlad or Alex would be the ones taking your lives away and taking your rights away. Because, I mean, you can already see these guys are not very happy with criticism, because any criticism of them is an attack on free speech. So they will use this argument of free speech to take it away from you. These people want fascist tyranny, and the only reason why is because they hope that they will be the ones pulling the strings and deciding who gets to live or die, whose life abides by the rules of gods or not. And this is precisely why we should never tolerate the intolerance.
You know, Alex, we were saying in Russia, if God is with us, who's against us? And that's why...
I think even Alex here was like, mate, I think I heard that somewhere before. Right now he's probably thinking, man, haven't I heard that in German before? Of course, guys, God is with us. That's never been said before. It's clearly fine that these are the words that are coming from official Russian propaganda. And guys, by far the best moment of the entire interview is coming up.
We don't hate Americans. We don't hate American people. We've all been created by God. So who is fighting against us? Who is trying to destroy our countries? Through the most common weapon, Nazism. That's the common weapon of evil. And who supports them? America.
Come on, guys, let's give a round of applause for great acting.
Jo, ne tas klausimas, Henry, nebuvo klausimas, kas gali susilaukti vaiką. Klausimas, kodėl, kaip ten buvo, kodėl ta, šeimos sauko, kodėl turi būti vyras ir moteris kaip tėvai. Kodėl? Mes galim įsivaikinti, taigi, kodėl, mes, jeigu tėvas miršta, ateina moteris, kuri negimdė, arba vienas, jeigu iš tėvų miršta, ateina tada dažnai į šeimą kitas žmogus, kuris negimdė to vaiko ir vis tiek jį prižiūri. Tai kodėl? Mes labai iš daug pusių galim tą, analizuoti, kas gali būti tėvai ir kas negali būti. Kodėl du tėvai negali būti, arba dvi mamos negali vaiko prižiūrėti, arba įsivaikinti jo. Kodėl? Tame problema yra. Čia niekas nekelia klausimą, kas gali pagimdyti vaiką ir jo susilaukti. Čia net niekas apie tai nekalba.
From Alex Jones. One of the greatest actors I've ever seen, personally. To cry on command like that is awesome. I think actually maybe he was being genuine, to be honest. Who knows? I think in this moment maybe probably Solovyov is like, holy shit, he's crying. He actually thinks this is real. I'm here grifting, just making my money from the Kremlin, but this guy is batshit insane. He's actually crying over this.
That's why they started with America. That's why they want to corrupt America.
Nes įsivaizduoja savo milijardą prarastą.
America used to be the beacon of freedom. And that's why they want to destroy it. People like you won't allow that.
Crazy.
This is amazing. This is amazing. I've personally never really seen Alex Jones cry before. This is awesome. I mean, objectively, this sucks, but this is the world we live in, guys. This is the Matrix. What is even happening at this point? I have no idea. So yes, after this, essentially, they kind of go in talking about, Nazis in Ukraine for another 5 minutes after this. And Alex basically says that, Russia is basically justified in everything that it's doing and, that these globalists...
Nežinau, iš tikrųjų, kaip Gražinis ten, kaip nustatė, kiek iš vis sumokėt, kaip suprantu, atsižvelgia tai, kiek jis uždirbdavo ten į metus, nes ten būdavo šimtais, man atrodo, milijonų iš tų papildų, iš jo to turto turimo, aš nežinau, kaip tai veikia. Bet, kažkokią dalį, sumokės, neįsivaizduoju. Nes visko niekad nesumoka, man atrodo, kažkaip ten gal areštuoja turtą, ar ten iš ateities paimų, nežinau. Bet visą tą galima peitaigės kažkaip. Bet nesu tikras. Kažkiek tai turbūt tikrai sumokėjo jau iš to jo turto, kurį jis turėjo. I don't know. Nežinau, kaip tie veikia irgi dalykai.
Are trying to destroy America, trying to destroy Russia and America by using Nazis who actually come from Ukraine and America. They're working together. I mean, I don't know, it just makes no fucking sense. It's literally hearing two drunk uncles talk politics. Complete gibberish. But I do want to show a couple more funny moments from this interview.
And if you say something against them, oh, you're a Russian propagandist. You cannot have your own voice. Why? They want to debate with you? No. They want to destroy you. They're so scared of your voice. They're scared of freedom. That's why they want to destroy. They want to blame you. They want you to be silent.
Wow, once again, Solovyov is really mad that somebody is getting silenced over their opinion. Crazy, I know. I wonder if Solovyov has ever heard of what's happening in Russia and how, comedians and YouTubers and, musical artists are being labeled foreign agents for basically having a different opinion. How artists get their concerts cancelled.
Jo, visi, kad tą sako, realiai, tada pasižiūri, pala, jūs tą darot. Kaip Lekstutis vėlgi visą laiką sakydavo, jeigu tu turi nuomonę, kur sutampa su juo, tu esi kritiškai mąstantis, protingas žmogus, šaunuolis tiesiog, nebijantis, kovoti, teisybę sakyti. Jeigu turi bet kokią nuomonę, kur nesutinka su juo, tu išplautom smegenim avis, Amerikos ten propagandą įtikėjęs ir panašiai ir panašiai. Pritimas tas hipokritiškumas kiekvieną kartą, masyvus, kaip čia, masyvus ženklas.
How people are jailed, kicked out of the country, so on and so on. I mean, once again, guys, it's just incredible. It's just incredible. The level of grifts only rises higher and higher. I just find it absolutely unbelievable that Solovyov has the guts to pretend like he's some sort of free speech advocate.
America used to be the most beloved country by Russians through the 90s.
That's pretty true.
And not by the American people, but by American politicians. We were badly screwed. They lied to us. They kept zero of the promises. Zero. The same stuff.
I love how Alex just doesn't even want to listen to Solovyov's bullshit at this point. He's just like, nah, I just want a shot.
Trump is a very transactional person. So he looks at Russia, 3 times the size of the U.S., the most wealthy country in the world, resource-wise. It's like Melania. He sees it as a woman. I mean, I know how Trump operates. He sees Russia as a gorgeous, beautiful woman he wants to be.
Let him cook, I guess. I don't know.
And the CIA goes, no. You're not getting in business with her. We're going to kill her and eat her. And so they're cannibals. Trump wants to have children with Russia. The globalists want to eat Russia, and they want to eat me. So that's really to understand their mindset. They're cannibals.
What the fuck? You just gotta love how unintentional.
Tiesiog nuostabus minties vingiai. Tiesiog kaip mes priėjom prie to, kad jie yra kanibalai. Tai nes Trumpas mato Rusiją kaip gražią moterį. Okay, seniai.
Alex Jones can be. This is amazing.
Geri
Who else would be able to say something like this with a straight face? So good. So good, man.
Ir čia dar nėra labiausiai unhinged dalykai, ką Alex Jones yra pasakęs, dieve, kai jis kalbėdavo apie tos ten nedriežažmogius, o tai, kad ten valstybė daro eksperimentus iš žmonių, odos augina ir panašiai, ir ten jisai atsirenka tam tikrus tyrimus, kur, kažkiek susiję, bet tada į tokias išvartydavo teorijas, kad ten visi pasaulyje nublanksta prieš jo išvartymus. Dievai.
The perfect knight in shining armor, Alex Jones, fighting for God and for what he believes in. Alex, it was a pleasure, and I'm honored.
Thank you. They can find us at the verboten site, Infowars.com. Be safe and let's stop nuclear war.
Yes, guys, it was a pleasure as well, to be honest. Not really, but it was funny. It was funny. A lot of very, very entertaining moments. And there's actually way more. If you want to, you can watch this entire whole thing. But yeah, you gotta have some level of preparation. Just don't forget to put on your cringe hazmat suit, But yeah, so what can I say? Incredible. It's been absolutely incredible to see these two, giants of cringe finally collab and come together. And, yeah, this should be a weekly thing now, to be honest. I just want to see who outgrifts who, That's gonna be like the competition here. But yeah, guys, hopefully you found some enjoyment out of this. Hopefully you had a laugh or two. I don't know. Huge thanks to Solovyov for actually putting up this video in its original form without the voiceover in Russian, because then I wouldn't make this video. I wouldn't do the fucking subtitles. But yeah, guys, that is going to be pretty much it for today's video, though. If you guys did enjoy it, then please make sure to slap the like on it. Okay. And once again, guys, if you want to support me...
Gerai, jo, dėkui.